We're back in Yokohama because there is so much to see and do here that we couldn't cover it all in one video. Yokohama Station is just a 35-minute ride from Tokyo Station and only a few more minutes to the waterfront area of the city. When coming to Japan, Yokohama offers tremendous sights to visit, yet without the crowds of Tokyo, so we highly recommend putting it on your list. We stroll through the Foreigners' Hill and British Gardens, tour the Nippon Maru, a training vessel from the 1930s, fly over the waterfront in the Yokohama Air Cabin, and devour the cutest looking bear ice cream you've ever seen. Well, we are in Yokohama in an area identified as the Yamate Motomachi Park. This is a high bluff overlooking the city, and what's unique about it is where a lot of the foreigners in the early days in the late 1800s came and settled. So around this area, you'll see lots of architecture of Western influence. And it's of particular interest to Josephine and her family because her great-great-grandparents were some of the earliest settlers here in this area in 1861. In fact, her great-great-grandfather is buried in the cemetery just down the hill from where we're sitting. In the late 1850s, Japan opened its borders to the outside world, and Yokohama is one of the few towns where foreigners were allowed to settle. As a result, many of them settled on the small mountain overlooking the harbor and built houses in the style from back home. Within this area, you'll find the British House and Gardens, which on the day we visited were celebrating the Garden Necklace Tour, which is a promotion of several Western-style gardens throughout Yokohama, and it was a beautiful day for it. The British Gardens overlook the bay, and around the area, you'll find several restaurants and classic turn-of-the-last-century style buildings. There are fully restored houses as well as ruins among the trees and hillsides, such as the McGowan House, which fell victim to the Great Kanto earthquake of 1923. While here, take a leisurely stroll along the streets and pathways to the various gardens and houses. You'll feel 1,000 miles away from the frenetic pace of Tokyo, just 35 minutes to the north. Make your way down to the waterfront where you'll find one of 3 ship memorials. This one is the Nippon Maru, a Japanese maritime training ship which was commissioned in 1930 and sailed until 1989 before being permanently moored here in Yokohama. The self-guided tour allows you to explore the various decks of the vessel from the engine rooms below to the crew's quarters, galley, and captain's quarters. You'll be surprised at just how well appointed some of the spaces were decorated. The ship is a classic bark with 4 masts and acres of canvas sails. You can go up to the bow of the ship and onto the bridge to get a sense of what it was like to command the vessel. The ship is located a very short walk from Landmark Tower and the Queen's Towers shopping complex, which you can see in our previous Yokohama video. Yokohama has a beautifully developed waterfront that is perfect for walking. But if you want to get a different perspective, then hop on board the Yokohama Air Cabin Gondola. This allows you to ride in air-conditioned comfort from the mainland to one of the man-made islands that feature the Cup of Noodle Museum and Cosmo World among other attractions. It's a short ride, but a very pleasant one, and it provides a nice view of the waters below. It sure beats walking in the summertime heat, and you can make a round trip of it if you wish. Definitely something fun to do while in Yokohama. On this main island offshore, you'll find the famous red brick warehouses. These 2 very large multi-story buildings were originally customs warehouses from the late 1800s. They are unique in that their walls are extremely thick and window openings clad in thick steel shutters as a fire prevention method. The buildings have since been converted into shops, restaurants, galleries, and event spaces. There are more than 40 shops plus numerous restaurants today, including theater space for up to 300 people. Be sure to stop by the Milk March for a delicious cream-filled crepe. You won't be left hungry at the red brick warehouses. And if you haven't had enough shopping by now, then simply walk over to Marine and Walk Yokohama, another outdoor shopping complex also situated by the waterfront. This one features slightly more upscale shops and restaurants. Back on the mainland is the Kanagawa Prefectural Museum, housed in a 1904-era former bank building. The interior features permanent and rotating exhibitions that tell the story of the development of the Yokohama area from an early settlement to how it was transformed after Japan opened up to the west during the Meiji period. Here you'll see replicas of the ships of Commodore Perry and one of the cannon that was cast in order to repel his fleet if necessary. There are dioramas of the city, temples, and various artifacts. This is simply a great place to come to in order to learn all of Yokohama's early history. Ohayo gozaimasu. We are presently in Yokohama in the Sankain Gardens. It's a beautiful garden, formerly a private residence and garden area here, which we highly recommend you come see. So, honey, what's the word we're going with today?
Ohayo gozaimasu.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
Meaning good morning.
Meaning good morning. Okay, so we came out here this morning and everybody we're greeting or they're greeting us, they're saying
Ohayo gozaimasu.
So when you're in Japan and you're here, just remember to use those two words, that little phrase there, and it'll help start the day right. Even away from the waterfront, Yokohama is a beautiful city to stroll. There are tree-lined boulevards and buildings sporting classic Roman, Greek, and Italian ornamentation. You'll pass by numerous museums along the way, but today we make a special stop. Now, Josephine's great-great-grandparents, James and Margaret Bala, arrived in Yokohama in November of 1861, only a few years after Japan had opened up to the west. And it is important, historically significant for two reasons. One, for the nation of Japan, this was actually the first Japanese Protestant church founded in Japan. Now, on a personal note, it's very significant because Josephine's great-great-grandfather, James Bala, and several others founded this church. Well, if you've watched this much, then you must be enjoying the video. So if you want us to make more, then it's important that you click the like and subscribe buttons in the description of this video. You see, we need YouTube to take notice of our modest channel, and that's where you can help. It's free and you won't be put on any mailing list, so do it now. Josephine and I encourage you to check back every Saturday for a new video and visit our Facebook page or website for even more photos and travel tips. Links to each are in the description below, and we thank you now, and back to Yokohama. But for now, we move on to more worldly things, specifically World Porters, a very large two-story shopping and dining complex with food halls and such. Here you'll find everything you could ever need for souvenirs or dining options, including one unique opportunity for which we stumbled upon. This is Menduella Gourmet Ice Cream. To call this ice cream is a misnomer. Just look at these incredible creations. Now, Japan is known as having some of the most Instagrammable goodies, but these are absolutely the best. Now, the question is, how do you eat something so cute? We're going to cut off its head or what? We're taking care of Mr. Bear here. Oh, we feel so guilty. Yokohama has so much to offer, yet without the crowds of nearby Tokyo. The waterfront is so easy to walk and explore, including several locations we covered in our previous video, such as the Cup Noodle Museum, the Hikawa Maru Ship Memorial, the Coast Guard Museum, Landmark Tower, and Sankain Gardens, among others. And don't forget the hidden gem of an observation room on the 46th floor of the Kitanaka building, providing exceptional views in all directions. And best of all, it's free and seldom crowded. When staying in Yokohama, we always stay at the Oakwood Suites, and once again, you can learn more about it in our other Yokohama video. Be sure to watch for our upcoming video where we address the question, can I get around Japan without knowing the language? In short, the answer is yes, you can. We'll cover the basics for using the trains, taxis, dining, and hotels. This will be an invaluable video that will enhance your visit to Japan, so be sure to watch, and until next time, sayonara!